Welcome to this new video where we're going to talk a bit about racing game news, since yesterday, Nacon, the publisher of Test Drive, Solar Crown, for example, held a big conference of over 2 hours where they shared a lot of news about several of their racing games. So today, I'm offering you a quick summary of everything that was said. We'll discuss Season 7 of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown and cover Season 8, including new details and images about the house buying and customization system. It's finally happening, and it looks really cool. But we'll also talk about the news regarding Gear Club Unlimited 3 and Endurance Motorsport series, which are two other racing games published by Nacon. Just before that, I want to remind you that if you want to buy Test Drive Solar Crown for a really low price, its Gold Edition, the biggest version, is currently only €7 through my Instant Gaming link, which you'll find below this video in the pinned comment. I don't know why the Gold Edition, which is actually the biggest version of the game, is cheaper than the others. It's really a great opportunity for you to check out this game, which is now very complete, for a really low price. Buying games through my link supports my channel, so thanks to everyone who checks it out. We're going to start this video with some good news, since Gear Club Unlimited 3 is finally coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Until now, it was only available on the Nintendo Switch 2, where it was released in February 2026. It will now be available on other platforms starting October 8th, 2026, and will be available on PC on both Steam and the Epic Store. It will soon be on Instant Gaming, though pre-orders aren't open yet. Gear Club Unlimited 3 is a racing game set in France and Japan. The game features about 50 licensed customizable cars and several new features compared to Gear Club Unlimited 2, like a new cockpit view. Here, you couldn't drive from inside the cars. There's also a new game mode, Highway Rush, where you race through open highway traffic at top speed, similar to the No Hesi modes in Assetto Corsa. And on PC, it will also get a slight graphical improvement, since it will support ray tracing technology, offering a more advanced and realistic handling of lighting. And one last note about this game, there will also be a deluxe version that will let you start playing with 3 days of early access, so basically starting from October 5th. Unfortunately, not all news was good at this conference, as the Endurance Motorsport series has been delayed. It was supposed to come out in 2025, then delayed to 2026, and now its release has been pushed back to spring 2027, still on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Just as a reminder, Endurance Motorsport series has a pretty unique approach to racing games, because you won't just be racing, you'll also be managing a racing team. You'll switch from being a driver to being a strategist in the pits. All of this happens in real time, and you can literally change roles while a race is already underway. Nacon explained that this delay is mainly to allow more work on online features, especially adding cross-play between different platforms. The developers used the conference to reveal new images and, for the first time, demonstrate the cooperative PvE multiplayer mode. In this mode, 3 players can join the same team and participate together in an endurance race against opponents controlled by artificial intelligence. We also know that in this game mode, you can do 24-hour races that actually last 24 hours if you want to. Of course, don't worry, there will definitely be PvP as well. Nacon also took advantage of this conference to show a new fictional circuit called Core Promenade, which is located in Dubai. It features architecture that's somewhat typical of the region, but the developers took some liberties by adding an underwater tunnel. And in Dubai, well, there isn't any water. This new circuit will add to the already large list of tracks, which includes quite a few real circuits like Fuji, Spa, and Le Mans. If you're interested in the game, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'll keep covering news related to this game. And don't forget that it will also be available on Instant Gaming. The page is already up, but it's not available for pre-order yet. Alright, now let's talk about the main topic of the video, which is Test Drive Unlimited. First, Season 7, since we have some good news. First of all, it's confirmed that the Season 7 update will be released on September 2nd. By the way, I'll be live on Wednesday, September 2nd to check out all the new features of Season 2. So feel free to follow me on Twitch to get notified when the stream starts, and by the way, use your Prime to support my Twitch channel. This season will mainly focus on Japanese cars, which until now haven't been very well represented in the game. In total, there will be 6 new cars added to the game. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I think this is a record since the game started. I don't think we've ever had a season with so many cars at once. So we already knew we would get the Nissan Skyline R34. That's a really great addition. You can unlock it at level 15 of the Solar Pass. Also, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4, which will mark the arrival of Mitsubishi in Solar Crown, will be the reward at level 50. But during the conference, Nikon confirmed that the Mazda RX-7 FD3S will be directly available in the game and can be bought at the dealership. It shouldn't be too expensive, by the way. So it will be a new model that pretty much everyone will be able to buy relatively quickly. By the way, it's the first Mazda available in the game. And there will also be the Nissan 370Z Nismo, available from level 1 of the Solar Pass. So, those are all the official cars of the season. There will also be another new addition which, however, will only be offered through the shop. So basically, that means you'll have to pay for it. It will be the BMW M3 GT3 Evo. And there will also be, in this shop, if I'm not mistaken, a special version of the Volkswagen Beetle called the Buggy Holiday Edition, which might be a little less interesting since, in the end, it's just a special version of a car that's already available. Season 7 introduces new cars, but that's not all it adds. The interface will change slightly with a new tab dedicated to live content, making it easier to find daily challenges, seasonal challenges, and their rewards. Another small new feature that you might like is that it will now be possible to remove the spoiler from certain cars, because until now, customization was mostly about adding new things, especially spoilers. You could already add them to some cars since the arrival of Season 6. Now, there will be 2 cars on which you can remove them, maybe to get a bit more top speed, or simply to change the look of the car a little. Another big new feature for Season 7 is that the devs have reworked the physics of the hypercars. Hypercars are really the weirdest category of cars to drive in Solar Crown. It's very, very, very weird to drive. Suddenly there's grip, then 2 seconds later it's gone, and you don't know why. Now, normally, we're going to have new physics that's supposed to be more consistent, with less of those sudden, brutal losses of grip like we sometimes had before. Well, we'll see. We'll judge starting from September 2nd once we can test it ourselves. But it's true that in the gameplay shown during the conference, it already looked a bit more stable. In the middle of the season, there will be 2 other new features that will appear, which are pretty cool. The first one is that we'll finally be able to change the size of the rims, and especially, and this is something I've personally been waiting for since the game was released, maybe even before, I spoke with the developers at their studio a few weeks before the game released. Finally, new exterior view cameras. Indeed, the exterior view is, by default in the game, a view that I find way too dynamic, a bit too much like Need for Speed, with the camera pushing too much in the corners. It breaks the connection you have with the car, and can make it seem like the game's physics are completely arcade, even though they're not. The current camera is extremely misleading. So finally, some new exterior cameras. Nikon also teased that there would be a big partnership without giving any more information about the brand in question. We should learn more by the end of October, so around the middle of Season 7, but it is definitely confirmed that the Racing Center has been postponed to a later season. The Racing Center was supposed to be the hub where you could meet other players to start multiplayer races. That's not going to happen right away. Instead, the developers have decided to focus on the house system. And actually, we have quite a few new images in gameplay. And in this case, we can say they really didn't half-ass it. Honestly, big props to them because the housing, being able to buy houses, decorate them, and invite people over in the game is way more advanced than what we had before in the old TDU games. And honestly, it's a feature they're basically adding just to please us, because it's a feature that must have cost quite a lot and taken a lot of time to develop. And even though it should make all the fans of the franchise happy, since they really felt it was something that was missing, for it to be a real TDU, it's probably not a feature that's going to bring a lot of new players to the game. So really, it's fan service to please the longtime fans of the franchise. And honestly, respect to them for developing this so late in the game, after all the backlash they've faced. Because honestly, it looks pretty cool. Starting from Season 8, we'll be able to buy houses on Hong Kong Island and Ibiza, the 2 maps of Test Drive Solar Crown. On these 2 maps, we'll find real estate agencies where you'll need to go to check out the available properties. We'll have access to a kind of interactive tablet that will let us browse the houses beforehand, choose the one we want to buy, and even sign the contract virtually. The developers also want to add a dynamic real estate pricing system, so house prices won't always be the same. We're not really sure what factors it would be based on, but the developers think it could sometimes allow you to make a profit on the houses you buy and earn a bit of money that way. During the presentation, we already saw 5 properties located in Ibiza that appeared in the agency, so there will probably be many more in Hong Kong. Some houses will be unique, but others will share the same exterior architecture, just like it was back in the days of TDU 1, or I think also TDU 2. For instance, they showed us a beautiful large seaside villa in southwest Ibiza. It's amazing, and there are many customization options we'll discuss later. Obviously, you'll be able to walk freely inside the house, just like in TDU 2. You'll be able to modify the interior of the house however you want. On that point, I think it goes even further than TDU2, and honestly, it even goes further than a lot of games that are actually specialized in life simulation, like The Sims. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but one thing's for sure. You'll be able to choose any furniture you want and place it freely both inside and outside the houses. You'll be able to customize the floors, the walls, the countertops, and even the materials of certain elements could be changed. For example, a sofa could go from a fabric finish to a leather finish. So the goal of the customization feature is to make it so that two players can technically own houses that look the same on the outside, while having completely different interiors with different atmospheres. There will still be a few limits. For instance, the building's exteriors can't be repainted due to technical reasons. It will also be impossible to change the decoration while other players are present in your house, since you can actually invite up to 8 people into your house to show them around your garage and your house. And you should know, and this is nice too, it's a small detail but it's cool, that unlike what happened in TDU1 and especially TDU2, when a player comes to visit your house, you'll see their car parked in your yard or in your garage. That's cool. The properties will have driveways that can accommodate between 2 and 8 cars. The garages will also be fully customizable and can display up to 8 cars. So you have to understand that you'll have your own garage with your customized cars. And outside, you'll have driveways where players who come to visit you can park their cars. When it comes to garage customization, you'll be able to choose where you position your car and even how it's oriented. It'll be a pretty free choice, kind of like placing furniture. Eventually, probably in the mid-season patch, the developers will add the feature that will let you interact with your friends' cars. For example, you could look inside their car, open the doors, or even start it. That's really cool. Now, you'll need to be a little patient to enjoy all this in your game, since Season 8 still doesn't have a specific release date. The developers explained that the next big presentation dedicated to houses will take place in spring 2027. So yeah, you'll need to be a little patient, especially since just because it's the next presentation doesn't necessarily mean that Season 8 will be released right after. I still think there's quite a bit of good news. Honestly, once again, after all the shitstorms they went through after the game's very rough start, seeing that they're not giving up, that they're still motivated to push things all the way, at least to satisfy the longtime fans of the game, I think that's really cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. In any case, feel free to leave a like on this video. It's always appreciated and it helps boost the ranking a bit. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Bye.